Hey, good morning. This is Danny with the Christian Metal Ministry, and we're hoping you're having a wonderful morning out there. Hey, the theme of our message today is called Phoenix, Strength and Renewal, Rise from the Ashes of the Past, Mental Illness. Join us as we break the mold of traditional worship and creating a community where everyone, from headbangers to seekers, can experience the transformative power of God's message. Together, we'll rock out, lift our voices, and share the gospel in a uniquely powerful way. I want to look into a topic that is often overlooked, but is incredibly important: mental illness. As we navigate this subject, we'll explore it through the lens of scriptures, the teachings of Christ, and even the powerful themes that are found in Christian metal music. Mental illness is a reality, and it affects millions of people, including many in our communities. But let's remember, our God is a God of hope, healing, and redemption. This is usually a sensitive topic to talk about, but it does need to be discussed. 1 in 5 people usually struggle with mental illness, which can range from depression, bipolar, anxiety, panic disorders, eating disorders, schizophrenia, substance abuse, addiction, and the list goes on and on. So that means if you walk into a room that's full of people, 1 in 5 are going through similar things you are. See, depression is the demon of them all, and it can kill you. You're constantly in a state of isolation in your mind. Simple tasks seem like a chore, and your bed is your only safe haven. Sleep calls you constantly, just so that you can get a short escape from everything. See, depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. It's also called major depressive disorder or clinical depression. So it affects how you think, how you feel, and behave, and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. See, when we think of someone who is suicidal, just the term in itself, we shy away from even talking about it. It frightens us, and we want to just sweep it under the rug and try to ignore it. Kind of like out of sight, out of mind. It'll go away. So when we view suicide as a finale of it all, and when it happens, we're left wondering, oh man, she was beautiful, or he was smart, she was talented. Wow, he excelled in sports. He was even talented too. What happened? See, it's crucial to recognize that mental illness is not a new phenomenon. Throughout the Bible, we see individuals who struggled with various forms of despair and anguish. Consider the prophet Elijah, who experienced profound depression after his victory over the prophets of Baal in 1 Kings 19. He fled into the wilderness, feeling utterly alone and despaired. In 1 Kings 19, we read these words: Elijah was afraid and fled for his life. He went to Beersheba, a town in Judah, and he left his servants there. Then he went alone into the wilderness, traveling all day. He sat down under a solitary broom tree and prayed that he might die. I've had enough, Lord, he said. Take my life, for I am no better than my ancestors who have already died. See, Elijah's experience, it's a testimony to the reality of mental health struggles. Even the most powerful and faithful servants of God can experience deep despair. This shows us that mental illness is not a sign of weakness or weak faith or a lack of spirituality, but instead it's a part of our broken human condition. The Bible does not shy away from suffering. In fact, it addresses it head on. In Romans 8, Paul reminds us that our present suffering are not worth comparing to the glory that he revealed in us. You see, Romans 8:18, this verse encourages us to view our struggles, including mental illness, within a broader text of God's redemptive plan. See, we may not understand why we suffer, but we can trust that God's work is in us and through our lives. He's even working in us through our darkest moments. And Christian metal bands like Nightwish or Hezbollah Dying often express themes of struggle, redemption, and the search for hope amidst the despair. Their lyrics resonate with many who feel isolated in their pain, reminding us that we are not alone in our battles. You see, to fully grasp the importance of addressing mental illness, we need to understand how widespread it is. According to the World Health Organization, also known as WHO, approximately 1 in 5 people will experience a mental health issue at some point in their life. In the United States alone, nearly 50 million lives have a mental illness issue, which is about 20% of the adult population. The statistics reminds us that mental illness is not just an individual struggle. It's a communal issue that affects family, friends, and communities. The reality is that many in our church may be silently battling these issues, and you may not even be aware of it. One of the most comforting truths in scriptures is that God is present with us in our pain. Psalms 34 reassures us that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. This promise is not just a nice segment. It's a profound truth that we can cling on to. God meets us in our sufferings, offering comfort and companionship. When we feel overwhelmed, it's essential to remember that God is not distant. He is intimately aware of our struggles and pain. So many people feel ashamed to share their struggles due to the fear of judgment or misunderstanding. This stigma can prevent individuals from seeking help, leading to further isolation and worsening symptoms. As members of the church, we are called to bear one another's burdens. Galatians chapter 6. Mental illness can often lead to isolation, making it vital for us to create a supportive community. Community is crucial for healing. Just as bands like Skillet emphasizes unity and strength in their music, we too must encourage one another. Let's be a church that actively listens, supports, and walks alongside those who are struggling. So this means being open to conversations about mental health without being judgmental. The National Alliance on Mental Health reports that stigma can cause individuals to avoid treatment, keeping them trapped in their pain and struggles. As a church, we must work to combat stigma by fostering an environment of understanding and acceptance. We should create a safe space where individuals feel free to share their experiences without fear or judgment. By raising awareness, we empower our congregation to recognize the signs of mental illness in themselves and others. And this understanding can lead to earlier interventions without the crucial effects of being judgment. And encouraging individuals to seek help from therapists or counselors does not diminish their faith at all. Rather, it enhances their ability to cope and find healing. In fact, many Christian therapists integrate faith into their practice by helping individuals navigate their struggles from both a psychological and spiritual perspective. See, in our journey, we must acknowledge that seeking professional help is not a sign of weakness, but an act of wisdom. God has gifted us with medical professionals and counselors who can provide support and guidance. Proverbs 11. Without wise leadership, a nation falls. There is safety in having many advisors. See, this wisdom applies even to our mental health as well. Seeking help, perhaps through counseling or therapy, can be an essential step in our healing journey. Just as we would seek medical help for physical ailments, we should do the same for our mental well-being also. Taking care of our mental health is not a selfish act. It's essential. Self-care practices, such as regular exercise, healthy eating, adequate sleep, and mindfulness, can have a significant impact on our overall well-being. We can look to Jesus as our ultimate example in self-care. Mark 6, he invites his disciples to rest. Then Jesus said, let's go off by ourselves to a quiet place and rest a while. He said this because there are so many people coming and going that Jesus and his apostles didn't even have time to eat. They were constantly overwhelmed. Even Jesus recognized the need for rest and retreat. And we must encourage one another to take time for self-care, recognizing that it's part of our stewardship of the bodies and minds that God has given to us. We must hold on to the hope of redemption. See, in Christ, we have the promise of healing, not just in this life, but ultimately in eternity. Revelations 21:4 offers us a glimpse of this kind of hope. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death, sorrow, crying, or pain, for all these things are gone forever. See, this promise assures us that our struggles with mental illness, our pains, our suffering will not last forever. In Christ, there is hope for restoration and renewal. You see, I deal with depression on a daily basis, been through traumatic relapses, and I can tell you from experience, suicidal people do not truly want to die, but see it as the only option to end the pain that they are in. I have attempted suicide several times, but I'm still here for a reason. I'm not proud of it, nor do I boast about it. I don't talk about it, but I do at times when it needs to be talked about. I know how you feel. I know the pain and hurt that you're going through. I've been down that dark road. You feel like death is the only way out. But at the same time, the human in you desperately wants to fight to cling on to hope, to cling on to life. Many people will say that those who are suicidal are just looking for attention, or they are cowards for feeling the way that they do. But depression is real, and you shouldn't be judged for going through something that is incredibly scary and lonely. People who experience suicidal thoughts do not need anyone criticizing them or belittling them for having the thoughts that they do. And your criticizing and your judgmental could be the tipping point that might push them over the edge. And we have to be critical and understanding and loving and caring to people who are going through issues, especially mental illnesses. See, I want to be able to be a voice for everyone who has experienced these thoughts and are still alive to tell the tale. I want to grow through all of this and know that even though you are hurting and in a place that seems absolutely beyond your control, you can get through it. You are here for a reason, and you are stronger because of all that you have been through. I am where you have been and where you are, but your life is worth living because you are still here trying to survive. You're still here getting stronger each and every day, getting better each and every day, even if you don't realize it or see it or understand it. This weekend may be tough for some because they will relapse. They fight that addiction each and every day, but it overcomes them. For some, it may be their first time. For others, it may be their last time. Some will leave behind families, while others may leave behind no one. Remember, we serve a God who is close to the brokenhearted and who heals the wounds of our soul. Let's walk together in love and grace, supporting one another as we navigate the complexities of mental health. Donating to the Christian Metal Ministry is a powerful way to support a community that embraces the outcast and misfits, offering them a place of belonging and acceptance. The Christian Metal Ministry blends the heavy metal culture with a message of hope and redemption, creating an atmosphere where individuals often marginalized by society can find solace and understanding. By donating, you're not just supporting a church, you are helping people everywhere, regardless of their past, can feel valued and loved. Discover the transformative power through the Christian Metal Ministry books that are now available on our website and social media platforms. These inspiring books offer insight into understanding baptism, Matthew 24, prayer, angels and demons, Whether you're looking to deepen your spiritual journey or deepen your spiritual life, our books can provide thought-provoking content. Join our community today by visiting our website or following us on social media to stay updated on releases, special promotions, and events. Embrace the message of hope and redemption that resonates within the metal scene. But as the sun sets on this special episode of the Christian Metal Ministry, and we conclude today's program, we encourage you to stay connected with us through our social media channels and website, where you can find updates, resources, and ways to get involved in our ministry. Remember, you're not alone on this path. We are a family united by love for Christ and our passion for metal music. So keep the faith strong and let the melodies of hope guide you forward. If you're looking to ignite your church or event with a powerful message wrapped up in Christian metal themes, and I'd love to connect with you. With a passion for sharing the gospel, I inspire and uplift the audiences in a way that resonates deep within their souls. So let's rock the stage together and create an unforgettable experience that brings faith to life. Reach out and let's make some noise for the kingdom of God. Schedule the Christian Metal Ministry for your next event or church service. Until we meet again, may God keep you and bless you in His grace and rock on in the faith.